to understand, they need to understand the benefits of waiting, the benefits of marriage, the benefits of waiting till you're married to have children. So those interviews you're talking about, that's really great. That's kind of why he has the picture of the senior older couples. And yeah, of course, it'd be nice to have video. We can only do so much. You can see how much time everything takes as it is. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's good that you have those videos.
Yeah. Yeah. When you can go to our website
And how many weeks is this program for a class? 8 weeks, right?
Typically, I do 8 weeks to cover everything. We're going to cover a little bit more than just the slides because I think we're just doing up to part 3, which is what we did. We also
So
have
it's 8 weeks for 2 hours each session?
No, it's usually 8 weeks for 45 minutes to an hour.
Wow, that's not a lot of time.
Yeah, it's just for part 2 and part 3, and it depends which age group. We have a model that we go by. Did I send you the model of our program yet? No. So my homework is, now that my daughter's bridal shower is over, I'll send you the model, and it shows in 6th grade we do this, in 7th grade we do this.
Well, I think you did send that already.
Okay, good. So that gives you an idea how much time we want with each one. And we had to do this because of our grant. We had to do that many workshops. When you're doing your own thing, like when I did a church, I rarely did a church twice. I usually just came once or twice. You know.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't do the whole program because they have their own program, and I was just the icing on the cake. And then that helped support what they were teaching with their religious teaching. You know?
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't know until I actually get out there and I start talking to people. I have no idea what's going to happen yet.
Yeah.
So I don't know yet.
For a church, I would say ask for an hour, and then you should be set up ready to present ideally when that hour
unless
begins.
they want more, you know.
Unless they want more, yes. Let's start off with an hour and see what they like, or would they, if they like it, do they have people coming back, you know? Because if it's taking up the whole time, you know, I don't know. If they have a 2-hour class, you take an hour, that's great, because then you could tell them what you're going to be teaching, and then they could do their Bible study based on that.
Very good.
It's really supportive, and they'll really feel this is supporting what they want to do, because I'm telling you, in the church, especially inner city, they're having a big problem. You know, married couples bed hopping. I mean, it's devastating. I mean, look how AIDS hit the urban area and stuff like this. It's cheating.
Well, I'll be rural, so.
Yeah, and rural has its own bag of tricks too. That's my new frontier.
Rural South.
I'm in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, rural South. Yes, the Bible Belt of the country.
Ooh, fun. So, yeah, that perspective is important too. Ask Richard, but you know, a lot of times, yeah, I have not found a problem with the fact that I'm not quoting a lot of Bible verses, because you know, a lot of people are religious, but they also don't relate to religious language. You know, they do believe in God, they believe in Jesus and salvation, but they're not so into being
one of
religious.
The churches here, in order for the young people to even volunteer, like they have a list of do's and don'ts. One of the don'ts is these young girls cannot be alone in a room with a man.
Good. That's it. You know, Billy Graham was like that. Wouldn't even go out to dinner with a person dealing with his program and stuff without somebody else there. And I agree with that.
Second King does the same thing, I believe.
I agree. I think Richard does the same. He always did the same thing, but sometimes, like, I had to be alone with him in the car to drive someplace, you know. But it was spiritually and emotionally, it was still that separation. Very careful. Like even this, you know, tapping people's shoulder, well, massage is obvious, but even this kind of stuff, or, kids hang on each other.
Right.
This is bonding. It's not healthy. And sometimes I had this when I was having problems. I had this, if I just lightly touch somebody, I'm going, "Ooh, how you doing?" And it was a problem. And then I realized, I have to keep that space around me just to protect myself from myself. The other person was fine. But we don't know, and then we follow feelings. And it's a big problem. And I think that would be a good selling point for the church is, sometimes when people want to go off the rails, they just say, "Well, I just don't believe anymore." Or God wants me to be happy, right? Well, this will show them from a scientific point of view why that doesn't work. That actually a lot of the religious teachings are based on sound science. Like the AIDS, we fundraise and make more money for AIDS research than we do cancer or anything else. And HIV, you have to go out and get it. Unless you were born with it from your mother, you have to go out and get it. It's a 100% avoidable disease. Cancer's not, so yeah, it's behavior.
So anyway, it should be interesting, but I think if I do make attempts to go out there, it would be nice to have a conversation and kind of discuss what happens. Because like I said, I have no idea. This is kind of a new area for me in this part of the country. And so it'll be good.
I think also attending classes, meetings, classes, different places, that's always very good too. And then, a lot of schools, colleges, and things like that, they have conferences where vendors set up tables to offer their services.
Very good.
That's a great and it's free.
Yeah.
I used to have to bring my own table. At least now they give you a table. But I try to ask them, "Do you have electricity?" And then I also have at Home Depot, they have a wheel. It's enclosed, and it has a 25-foot cord. So if I need, and it's got 6 outlets on it. So that's always been very helpful too. I can help.
So if we were to start a program, what type of reporting needs to be done upward? Do we just kind of do our own thing and we don't need to worry about letting Dr. Panzer know about anything? Or
I think it's always good to tell them what you're doing and what your experience is. If you need help with things, I'm your girl 24/7. I always answer my cell phone. But as far as reporting, if you're not, and he's always doing grants for a lot of places in the country.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. And so you can do both. You can do the grant and outside the grant, so like you could do a church one night or something. I just always I wanted experiences. I want to know real people. I want to know what are the issues they're facing. And the only way I'm going to find out is go to them. So I would do programs all day. And then at night I'd throw all my stuff in my car and drive another hour to a new location. But definitely with the church, you want to ask for an hour, and that's normal. But yeah, that's why we ask for 8, is only because of the grant. We need to impact with pre and post surveys and stuff like that. So we get memorandum of understanding and stuff. So it'll be good. Maybe Dr. Panzer needs to come on one of the last sessions or something to discuss that, or do a separate thing. Because it's something that you really need to hear from the horse's mouth, what to do. But I was always happy with the churches. I had a great time. They loved it. I never know, but I just forget about myself, just focus on the people.
Well, mostly I want churches because I'm connecting with pastors.
Wonderful. Wonderful. That's great. And they need help. And that's why you say, "I'm here to support you." Our science and research will show to the people when they're backsliding and having doubts that you can run, but you can't hide. They can't just say, "Well, I just don't believe in God anymore." Okay, well, you're going to have problems. It's just that religion gives you the strength and fortitude to know that you're not alone, that you have that inner strength to make the right decision, and also to recognize what a wrong decision is. Because a lot of times when it comes to being alone with somebody, we want to be putting ourselves in those places. We develop bad habits, and it's just like a drug addict. Oh, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to do that. I won't do anything else. No, you can't do that. You're an addict. You know, I did drug court. Is all relating to their heads, you know. And they would say, if only I had you when I was in middle school, I wouldn't have the regrets that I have today. You know, so it's can save a lot of lives. And then they need the church in order to give them strength to go this way. And plus, you want to meet another good person. You want to meet a person like you that has the same interest. So,
well, you know, I'm seeing pastors do programs and they have young people there. And the big question that I'm have in my mind is, yes, they can teach these young people and role model for them, but are they addressing these issues?
nope.
Right.
Nope. Yeah. And so we're doing the work, honestly speaking, where they get conflicted. They're going to get tempted through media, social media, their brains, porn, all of this stuff. And we're going to wrestle with them in the mud, you know, and talk about these issues because we feel comfortable with it. We
Yeah, I
know that.
really like the fact that Gideon is on this call because I think the guys really need strong role models, and a woman just can't cut it sometimes, you know, unless the pastor maybe joins in on the classes and, you know, is there as a support person showing, yes, I think this is important enough. I'm even sitting in on the class.
Yeah. I think that's really important, and it does show that. And also I think it really educates the pastor more what he needs to do. Like myself, I always felt very comfortable with guys, and guys always feel really comfortable with me. I'm just like a dude to them in a way. But as far as life choices and follow-up, it's absolutely true. They need that healthy male role model because they don't see it. They think penis size, they're so stuck on penis size and muscles, and you know, we don't want them to be wussy either. But you know, what about your character? What about being a good person? What about being a hard worker? What about taking care of business? You know, that's why I think gangs are so attractive in the inner city where they have no fathers, because that becomes their family. But then you gotta, you know, ride or die with them, and it's not healthy. Yeah, it's really great. So we want to go as a support person, not as a person with all the answers. We're going to fix all their ills, but to really support them.
So do you also have like a brochure?
Yeah, we have great brochures. Actually, I can send you the digital copy that my daughter made them.
Oh, nice. Yeah, great. Yeah.
And she even fought with Dr. Panzer because she made it all black. We had this one that was perfect for churches. It was all white and it was very heavenly, you know, and I always found them torn up on the floor. Then my daughter made one that was black and it had the bright colors, you know, the psychedelic colors. And the kids in the hood, first thing they do, they open it up and read it. These kids don't read anything. They read our brochures. I'm just looking around to see if I have one here. Wouldn't you know?
Something like that would probably be better to have done at a printer because of the ink involved in it. Oh, that's terrific. Yeah.
This is the truth about sex and love. They go, oh my gosh, I gotta read this. Look, and they've got, you know, the dear child letters in it. Look at this.
Wow.
See, and this. Both sides. It's amazing.
That's really good.
And we've had this for years, so he just updates it every like 3 years. Then for like, as an intro to adults, it's about change. It says, make an impact, let's make a change. You know, so it's really nice. And it says, empowering our youth to make healthy choices. And then inside, you see happy teenagers, create a share, live it.
I mean, something like that would be nice for them to put out with their brochures. And then when they're getting a class together,
Yep.
they're after church or whatever, they pick these pamphlets up, they look at them, and then they'll have, something to
See, at
take.
first they'll say, it's the devil, but we're teaching people the benefits of waiting until marriage for sex. Who in the church is going to argue with this? And see this
Nobody.
see this? I get the small labels. I put that on for me, and it says, schools, parents, adult workshops, Linda Doering, my phone number, and my email address. I put it on all my brochures that I hand out, but not to the kids. And when I'm doing the workshops, it's like people that, like, if I'm doing
Right.
workshops and
Like if
handing
you're at a
stuff out.
school or something like that, or
Because I know one of my associates was always needed more business cards because she's thank you, Gideon. She was always giving her cards out. Nobody's going to call you back. They don't remember you. You need to get their card. Give them a brochure. Say, oh, do you have your business card?
oh, good idea.
Then I can contact you. Yeah, it's great. And see, then they could start a club in their church too, and they just do everything. And then you come and give education to the kids 1 hour a month, 1 hour every other week or whatever. And then you have books. We have workbooks for the clubs. We actually have big books for the clubs. It's a curriculum. And it really is about, we educate the whole person. It's whole person education. And then their conclusion is usually they need the church to help strengthen them and also to be with normal people.
Right. They need a support. Yeah, they need that ongoing support. Yes, absolutely. You can't do it alone.
We help them with discernment. They cannot tell what's wrong or right because what's wrong looks great, feels great because it's in the moment. You know what I'm saying? So our program teaches the consequences. We take the main middle of the stream because there's a lot of programs and research that make us smell like a daisy, so great. But Richard doesn't do that. He only takes the middle of the road, and it makes us look great too.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anything else? And again, feel free, email me, call me. I don't always answer my phone if I don't see your name and phone number, but text me. I'm a texting monster. So, and again, I can help walk you through things, but I think you can see this is something you can do, and go to their conferences, go to things, get on people's email lists,
Well, I live in a community with lots of previous pastors and missionaries. And this one lady came up to me and she was telling me about a conference in North Carolina and who the guest speaker was. He was the creator of the Noah's Ark and the Creation Museum. He was their guest speaker. Right. Really, so these are really very good people. And I can definitely get a lot of conversations started because they're all concerned about their young people, obviously.
And we've had big changes. Like Jersey City, where I started, had the highest rate of HIV per capita in all of America. Now it's not even in the top 10. In my first 5 years there, teen pregnancy went down 37%, and every school said we were the only thing different. They had been giving out condoms for 20 years, doing a lot of things, and we were the only thing different in Jersey City. Teen pregnancy went down 37% in the hood. That's quite significant. And we're full of churches. We have churches on every block, but our pastors are fooling around.
That's right.
They just are.
Yeah, well, here it's more conservative.
That's good. That's great.
I mean, but they're trying to infiltrate through the Baptist church. They just elected a president who wants critical race theory, So
if they really knew what that was about, they would never teach that. They're just trying to be PC.
Yeah, right.
I love to hear Black people go to meetings and rant and rave against it. Like even this man said, I got 2 masters. What do you tell me? I'm too weak? Like you're going to overpower me with your whiteness? He said, I don't think so. That's what I think is insulting. Black people I know are very powerful. Everywhere I go, I belong to a lot of meetings. We do budgets and all this stuff. I'm the token white person. everywhere in their county level and state level meetings, I belong on their boards. All of them are run by Blacks, and they're highly educated, incredibly organized. They're great. And then all the associates are mostly Latinos and some Asians. I'm like usually the only white person there. I mean, everywhere I go, it's incredible talent. Where's the racism? Who's holding you back?
Still there.
You know, you got more than
I'm
you can
just
ever dream of. So that's what I'm talking about. I can again send you the digital.
Right,
Otherwise,
that would be great. to
if
start
people want
with.
to give me their individual mailing address, I don't mind. I can mail you out a couple of books and
Well, I'm thinking those pamphlets should be printed.
yeah, they are. We have printed. You can order them from Richard, or yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Ask him about that too.
Right.
But
Okay.
yeah, the brochures are very impactful, and then you can always put them in places too. Just leave
Right.
it.
Exactly.
You know.
Yep.
Mhm.
With my contact information on the back.
Yes, yes, yeah, yeah. And when you do conferences, keep a big list, a clipboard with a list, how you can get a hold of them, you know, and
Mhm.
I'll show you
What-
my setup sometime.
Yeah,
We have a
actually,
big tablecloth.
if you can take a picture, that's what we always did when we did our when I did another.
Might even be on our website. We have a whole tablecloth. Then we have
Right.
a board of Black kids doing whiteface, you know.
Right. So if you have like certain materials you put out, I mean, then it's more standardized and
yeah, that's what we have. It's very standardized,
Mhm.
very standardized. And the only thing I do is sometimes I'll take something from the slides, copy and print it, and then just print it out myself on my printer, and you know, just on a piece of paper, so the kids have something in their hand and they can show it to their parents when they go home and stuff too, you know. But they love the brochures, they love the books, you know. So
Okay.
a lot of things you don't have to redo, you know. Some things I've already tried it for 30 years and it works, and then you can, what I find is do it and then you evolve, you adapt your way for your area, you know. So anyway, I'm gonna let all of you go.
Okay. Thank you again.
Yeah, thank you guys. You take care. Have a great evening, rest of the week.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you.